Heary, travelers from afar. Stickers now in our Etsy. YouTube won't let us run link in our videos. Made fool of a spaz. Partnership must be had before we gain such abilities. Link for shop in description. Make haste for this opportunity. Proper credits to those who have helped. Tiki for finding the majority of images. Hickory comes to help. And a gem with her map making ability. Spazz goes crazy with editing. Those are the announcement for now. Heary, travelers from afar.
They were taking on a quest from Lord Redwin to deal with a creature or creatures that had been forcefully collapsing the mine entrances and injuring many other guards, as well as miners, in the resulting collapses. Lord Redwin stated that he would happily supply the group with their gear, that they would need small backpacks filled with extra torches and pickaxes, as well as some rope if need be. However, it was also stated that he hadn't thought to ask some of the surviving guards who had perhaps seen the creature that caused the collapsing tunnels. And in result of this, the group split, with Kiira and Gillie going to confront one of the guards, who was standing on the edge of a cliff face, observing the scenery beyond. The rest of the group still somewhat at the center. Not sure what to do, but just waiting for supplies. So, we will start our story of A Knight's Tale once again, with Kiira and Gillie observing a white-winged individual with glowing golden eyes that has turned to face them. As the figure turned, their appearance became more clear. And surprisingly enough, the yellow taloned feet and the yellowed beak gave pause to them. The individual was dressed in leather armor, seemed to observe them with the rather bird-like curiosity. Oh, hello there. Um, I,
At least
sorry.
tapping on Kira's shoulder. He's pretty! He's pretty! Send help!
Kiira watches at the tiefling. How dared he touch my soldier? Soldier. I can't pronounce anymore. And looks back at the at White Wing. Are you the one who saw the caves collapse?
I'm one of them, I suppose.
Can you tell us more about it? Did you see any creatures, any creature, or do you have any idea what it was?
I mean, I don't think it's anything I've ever seen. Usually I'm not even in the mine itself, rather claustrophobic. But, what I did see though was, a long serpent scale type body. I didn't see any colors, it was too dark. But I did see something slither off, I guess. But I wouldn't call it a snake. A bit too big.
Illy pulled his tail around. Was it something like this? He starts like petting his own tail.
No. Nothing like a tiefling tail.
Well, note his tail is much bigger. It almost looks like a salamander's tail in a way.
The guy shakes his head again.
Would you like to touch it?
No, thank you.
He puts his tail away.
Was there anything else you wanted to know?
I would want to know how that cave collapsed. Was it the creature you saw? What did it do to collapse the cave? And how did it arrive there? How many were you?
Well, there was, myself.
You were all alone?
Uh, for guard-wise? Yes, but I was, there were miners around. Only 3 others at the time. But they're dead now, so.
Did you
But,
see the serpent creature arrive?
no, but I saw it leave. Just before the first beginnings of the um cavern started to collapse. It seemed to burrow almost through the stone walls. I think that's what resulted in the collapse. The walls became unstable. Too much weight, perhaps. I don't know.
Where are the corpses? I want to see these corpses of these miners. I want to see how jagged their flesh is.
Kiira kind of pokes Illy by their side to make them shut up. That's
Why'd you do
quite
that?
a sensitive thing to say. Someone who just saw people die.
But if the thing attacked the people, then
It'd be
there
hard for
should
you
be
to see them
markings.
anyway. They're buried under mounds and rock. So,
Well, did anybody take a good look? Did the healer take a good look at them and to verify what kind of jagged teeth we're after? Like, he opens his mouth. Is it something like this? Or is it not? I want to know. Was it their claws? And he shows his claws like that? Or was it something else? Like, then he lifts up a foot or a hoof like this. It leaves markings. I would like to know. Just simple things.
I don't know. I don't try to remember. Seeing death changes a person after all.
I understand, but to prevent our deaths, we would want to know as much as possible about the serpent creature, because as long as it's still there, people's lives are at risk.
Yes, yes, I understand that. I I just saw the green scales.
Oh,
Or
see, more
dark scales,
information.
it's
It's
not.
green scales now.
That's actually my fault. I was supposed to say that. Oh well. I'll run with it.
You seem pretty sus to me, boy.
It might have been green scales. I think. I don't know. It was pretty dark. The torchlight didn't quite reach the thing. But
Can
yeah,
can I roll to see if he's like lying it all to us?
sure. You can roll an insight.
Because I feel something pretty sus going on, man. 13 and insight 16.
Only tell that while he's saying a partial truth, he's not revealing everything.
Ellie gets up super close, like really in his face. Stand ups on his hooves because he's short. I don't think you're telling me the full truth. I'm not going into this cave, even though it's a lot of good money. But either you're not being paid enough to tell me everything, or something's holding because even Sir Redwin was very lacking on the knowledge when he should know everything. I'm about to go talk to him again because there's something going on here that I don't like. I need information, boy. And I will get it. I have fingers.
Somewhat the guard somewhat gives off a bit of a squawk as he like jumps back, and these giant white wings give one mighty flap, and he's like airborne, like over the side of the cliff where Gillie can't really reach in.
Well, that's just rude.
I You can't blame me for not saying everything. Even I particularly don't believe what I saw.
Tell us what you know, because your every bit of information helps us. If you don't say something, you might cause more deaths because of that. Do you want that on your
Conscience.
consciousness?
You're right. I, I Fine. Look, it was a green scaled sort of creature. There was only one. From what I could tell, it seemed to move about almost blindly, I would have said. Nobody really approached it. We figured it was just one of these.
So what I'm getting is it's something that can see in the dark and can move around in the dark and or sense things in the dark. He does look like the stands to emphasize each word as well. So seems like something that naturally lives under there. What a shock.
Well, yes, it seems to be a natural habitat for it. But by all accounts, nobody has seen this type of creature for decades. The last sighting was about 300 years ago.
So we went from seeing a tail to knowing what creature do you think this is then?
I think it might be. I, I can't tell you if it is an actual thing that I saw. Look, I'm not saying I'm positive that the creature I saw is what it is. I could be wrong. There are many shape-shifting creatures in this world. But I want to say it perhaps might have been a grick.
A Rick.
Yes,
Is there anything you know about them more?
a grick from the books I had read. They're a cave-dwelling creature. Um, they live in packs, so it's possible that the one I saw, if it is a grick, could have been a scout. Um, uh, and they rely on smell and vibration. That's the knowledge in the books, anyway. And I'm still not 100% certain it's a grick or not, but my God, from the backside of it, I would have said it was.
That already gives us a lot of more information than you were telling us at first.
Was it pretty?
What?
Was it pretty?
I wouldn't have said so.
You might just not have refined taste. But okay.
The guy just looks at Kiira, just like, is this tiefling for real?
She just sighs, like, yeah.
Is that everything? Is that all you wanted?
Unless you have anything else to tell us, then I think that's all.
No. But can I land now?
Do you think it's safe to
Yeah,
land?
Kiira grabs the collar of Tiefling and is like, "Yeah, you may land. We'll leave now."
You're no fun. Ruining my fun.
Someone the guard lands and is just like tucks his wings behind him.
You have pretty wings!
Thank you.
Then he starts trotting back to the other group.
Anyway, while the pair are making their way back, we're gonna head to the others, and eventually, Sir Igneous comes over, and in his arms are 3 backpacks, each with rope tied to one side of it, and seem to be quite heavy. We only managed to procure 3. Is this
That,
all
that,
right?
that, that's fine. I think that will be c- perfectly fine. We were only expecting you said you might get 2. Is there a pickaxe in there? Any sort of digging supplies?
There's at least 1 pickaxe in one of these bags. I'm not sure. I didn't pack them.
All right. That should be good. Yes, thank you very much. And Knell will collect the backpacks. Is Salvia and Alyn still there with me?
Yes. uh, Everyone else who didn't go with Kiira and Gillie are still there.
Okay, then I will hand a pack off to each of them as well.
There's only 3, mind. There's only 3 backpacks.
Yeah, one for me and one for each of them. The other 2 are off doing other things, so we can carry backpacks. All right, and sir, while we are waiting, do you know if anyone here is able to tan fur?
I think that would be highly difficult with fur.
Or well, just make it. I got some fur fresh off of some wolves, you see, and fresh fur does not smell very good once it's been in a bag for a long time. So I was wondering if maybe I could leave it with somebody who could make it so that it would keep and I could make something out of it. But I would understand if you do not have somebody here who can do that, considering it is a mining camp. I just figured I would ask.
What you see, Sir Igneous wears a bow before a look of understanding comes across his face. Oh, I thought you meant turning, as in under the sun.
No,
That's what I meant.
yes, I wanted to be workable fur.
No, we don't have anything
All
like
right,
that here.
all right. Then I would have to look into that some other time then.
You'd probably have better luck in one of the next villages. Through the
Yes.
pass. Or even back in a high run.
Alright.
Anyway,
Where is the entrance to the mine? I think that it would be good if we all just met over there.
the entrance to the mine itself is not far from here, he says as he gestures to a long, well-used looking path that you
Oh,
can see from where you're standing. Like a lot of guards and a lot of miners are traveling up and down, and you can see that it drifts off away from the camp itself and up into through a couple of trees towards what seems to be the mountainside that you can see. Follow that path. You should get to the entrance to the mine there.
I'm not sure how I did not notice that at first. Alright, but first, Alyn,
Yes.
I think that it would be a good idea if we stopped by the healer so that she could see your arm.
And she kind of looks at her and gives a little nod.
And Knell just sort of relaxes a little bit with relief. She thought this was going to be a challenge to get her to go see it, and she also didn't want to be insulting. Oh, all right, okay. Salvia, would you like to come with us?
Yes.
All right, so I am going to lead the way to the healer's tent.
Okay. Having been there a few times now, you make your way there pretty easily. However, when you get there, the air is rather somber. Um, uh, Moving away from the center and where Lord Redwind's tent is, it gets quieter. The chat of the mine is dispersing, and the guards are silent. When you get to the tent,
Weird at all.
there there's a couple of miners in various states of injury, and you see Jeanette rushing around, seeming to be weaving some magic around her hands as she's like healing wounds as best she can while shouting directions to somebody else.
Jeanette? Oh, maybe I should not bother her. Excuse me, sir. And Knell will turn to one of the people close by who seems like he's not super injured or at all, just is in the area. That what happened?
He just like is holding a cloth to his eye. One of the tunnels collapsed again.
Oh goodness. Did everybody make it out okay?
Yeah, we got lucky.
Oh good. Uh, did you did anybody see what did it?
No, all of us were making our way back. Orders from Lord Redwind. We were heading
Goodness.
towards the main cavern tunnel when the ceiling gave way.
Oh. Uh, oh. And Nell doesn't know what the heck to say right now. What do you say to somebody who's been through something like that? Not to mention this, the air smells a whole lot like blood, and she doesn't like that at all. She's gonna cover her nose and back away a little bit.
Um,
Salvia will be frowning, concerned about all this new information, and seeing Knell is looking upset, she will hesitantly put a hand on her arm in support. She will say, "Things seems to be getting worse here. I'm getting worried about all this."
Alyn is looking around at everything, taking in information, and just watching everything and getting as much information as she can.
All right then. It takes a while, and the three of you just watch as Jeanette runs around with a somewhat assistant, or perhaps one of the younger guards. Seems on the inside of the tent. Somewhat after maybe 20 minutes, she comes out of the main part of her tent that she had disappeared briefly into, and spots the three of you. Oh, hello, dearies. Now's really not a good time.
I am understanding that from looking around.
Yes, is it something major I can deal with now?
Alyn, how do you feel?
If you just have any spare bandages, I can just wrap it up myself, or something, some spare stuff. She could do it herself.
Yes. She digs through the pockets of her apron. Here we go. So GM passes over a roll of clean bandages. It's not a very long roll anymore, but it should work just as well.
Thank you, she says.
Is it really bad in there? I smell so much blood.
Well, we've lost a few people.
Oh no.
Yes, mine collapses are no joke, especially with the damage they can do. But I have been praying to Vita and to Loss to accept their souls and perhaps give them a chance of reincarnation.
Vita is one of the gods, yes?
That's correct. Vita is the goddess of healing and life, rebirth. She is one of the yin parts of the gods, yes. So I would say she's definitely more positive than others. But she's part of the balance of nature. So I would say at this point during this discussion, that Kiri and Gillie have made their way back to the camp, and you've noticed that the others are missing.
Kiira and Gillie were returning to the camp, and Kiira is quite determined now that after she got information from White Wing
Red Wing.
we need to the White Wing, the night
Yeah, you never got the guy's name.
We know that
well,
it's Mr.
you
White
called
Wing.
them White Wing before, so
Yeah,
that's what Red Wing called him.
yeah.
White Wing or White Wing. The
Oh, White Wind. Okay. Anyhow, so Kiira doesn't want to deal with a injured tiefling, so she's dragging him towards the healing camp, healing tent in the camp.
No, I don't want to go. I need to talk to him. He was not being truthful. I knows it now. I can heal my face later. There is deductions to be had. Wait, I don't think that's the right word. But I need to talk to him.
Kiira is just dragging him behind behind her.
Guess your strength.
Okay. So yeah, the three of you, Knell, Alyn, and Salvya, all hear this loud complaining, and you see Hickory dragging Gillie towards you.
Oh wow, that looks bad. What happened?
Alyn just looks at him and shakes her head as she rewraps her arm.
Oh, nothing really. I need to talk to you in a sec. We need to come up with a plan how we deal with that creature. But for now, we need to get the tiefling healed. Have you seen the healer around?
It's just love bites.
Jeanette is really busy at the moment. We could perhaps ask for something for cold burns.
Anything that could help him.
It's just, he just showed me how much he loved me. Don't worry about it.
Somewhat, one of the miners who are sat around outside, somewhat laugh. So, Sir Igneous, sprayed you with a bit of the cold, I see.
He totally dicks me.
It was
Yes.
expected. I will go and see if Jeanette has a moment.
Thank you.
The miner. Someone the miner just laughs.
Knell will go off towards wherever Jeanette went and see if she's got one more spare moment for my companion.
So, when you reach Jeanette inside the tent, she is like wrist deep in somebody.
I will put my ears back and duck right back out of that tent and stiffly walk back to my party. Jeanette is busy.
What was Jeanette doing?
She is busy. She is very busy. I do not think that we should be bothering her right now.
I have Knell roll a constitution to see how strong your stomach is.
It should be decent considering I can animals, but 10. Let's see what's my constitution modifier.
Well, it's a saving throw, so 10 plus.
What's the difference for the saving throw?
Saving throw is pretty much like you see something particularly gross or you're being influenced by something.
No, I mean, does it affect the numbers at all?
Pretty much your saving throw is just the modifier. And if you got like proficiency in it, you add the proficiency bonus to it.
Okay, then 13.
13. You feel rather sick, if you're honest. Skinning animals is one thing. Seeing
I was a living person.
on a person who is actually alive and somewhat looks to be awake.
Awake? Oh no.
Well, look to be awake. You didn't really get a good look. You backed out pretty quickly. Yeah, you feel pretty sick to your stomach, and you look very pale.
For a cat.
For a cat, yeah, you're doing a very good impression of a paled cat, completely.
I think on cats, what you look at is the nose.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
but
could be.
anyway, the breakfast jerky isn't sitting very well.
With this reaction, Illy's all for this and walks straight into that tent.
No! I'm gonna grab Gillie.
Oh my
Alyn
god.
helps and grabs him too.
Sure. Right. Decide between Knell and Alyn who's going to roll the strength check.
Can I do like some sort of acrobatic shit to try to dodge them?
Hang on.
I'm proficient in strength, so I can roll it if you want. May.
Sure.
Well, this is straight strength, so you don't add any proficiencies.
I need a roll a
Fire.
acrobatics check to like get, or what would it be? Acrobatics, dexterity to try to get weasel my way into this place and be
You
all dodgy.
get good rolls on that.
Acrobatics.
I
it
got
would
16.
be contested.
My
got
strength is
12.
18, 19. I got a 19.
Hang on, because Hickory has advantage because Alyn's helping.
Oh!
So roll your
Okay.
d20 again.
I got a 13.
What did Gillie get?
Gillie got a 19.
Yeah, you slither your way past and get into the tent easily.
Yes!
Oh no.
Yeah, you get into that tent. Jeanette is still wrist deep in blood.
I go
and
straight over to
the
that shit.
insides of this person.
I go straight over, and I'm just like, what did this? Because he has a goal, he's determined, because he knows people have been dying, things have been happening. He wants to see what kind of mark, if this was made by the creature or from just the collapse. He is determined.
What? What are you doing in here?
Frosty Face, did this happen from the cave-in itself, or was he attacked by the creature?
I don't know. He was brought in here screaming,
Do the edges?
and he's now passed out.
Do the edges
I'm
look?
pretty much wrist deep in
Yes, I
his
see this.
insides.
Yes,
Do
very
you
nice.
really think I have time to answer this?
Looks like my
I
skin.
think I would like to have Knell come in there and just quickly grab Illy if I can and drag him back out, apologizing profusely.
Alyn helps.
Roll straight strengths.
All three of us?
Plus,
That's both Knell and Alyn to drag Gillie out.
use a 20.
Illy would like to fight this more for the fact he wants the information. He's like, no, I need to get this information before we go in. You want more information or not?
Sure, roll acrobatics to contest this.
I either got a 6 or a 9. I'm not sure.
I got
Which ways?
You
Where's
got
the
another
dot?
16.
Fuck! Wait, I do have the modifier. Do I add the modifier?
Add the modifier.
Then I have 16.
I have 19 total, then, if it's another acrobatics.
God damn you.
Oh, so I'm just like dodging this, like,
The
no,
dot.
information!
I think it's a 9.
Information
Well,
is
shit,
needed!
if I was using acrobatics, I would get.
Oh, Jeanette's just like, she can't believe this is happening at this point.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
And so she
Gillie.
just turns around and somewhat is like, her eyes are like glowing bright green and it says, "Get out now." And
Illy
both
freezes.
of you just feel this force just slam into both, like, to all three of your chests, and you are shoved out of the tent, each taking 10 damage from the force damage.
Illy's passed the fuck out. He has 1 point left. He's on the ground passed out.
Oh dear. Kiri and Salvyan, you just see like the three of them fly out of this tent and just land at your feet. Gillie is passed out. and Knell and Alyn are not in exactly in good state.
It was a bad idea to go in there.
Oh
Ow.
my god, what happened right now?
Kiira would have wanted to go and talk with the guard, who was laughing at the tiefling. So it seemed like that the guard had some information about the frostbites since he was laughing about it.
It wasn't a
So-
guard mine, that was a miner, but yes.
A minor, okay. Well, anyway, the person.
Yeah.
So Kiira would go to them and ask them a few questions, like, so this happens often that people get frostbited by him, or
Sir Igneous isn't exactly what you'd call a friendly fellow. He doesn't do
okay.
it on purpose. It's generally down to his race. It's accidental most of the time.
Do you have any idea how to heal it? I don't know if you have some kind of way already, since this happens. It seems to happen quite often then.
Yeah, mostly on accident. If you check that box over there, he says, pointing to like a relatively small like box. It's already opened. You can see the lid's just been pushed to one side, and the symbol on it is like a snowflake, just burned into the wood. In there should be some salve. Should take care of the frostburn.
Okay, thank you very much for that.
Not an issue. And word of advice to your free companions, he says, as he like points to the three on the floor behind Gillie. It's best not to disturb Jeanette while she's in surgery.
Yeah, well, the tiefling, you can already quite tiefling, as you might guess, is quite a handful, so let's hope he learns from this. Or not.
So the manager just laughs.
Kiira grabs one of the packages, one,
Salve?
well, for the, yeah.
It's like a paste, if that helps.
Yeah, is it in some small containers, or is it just that you need to grab it and just
It's like in a
spread
little
it?
like in a package, but when you pick it up, it goes a bit squish.
Okay, so Kiira grabs some and walks over to Gillie, who's laying on the ground, and just smears it all over his face.
Fair enough. Gillie regains the hit points he lost to the cold damage, which I believe was 6.
Gasps and was like, whoa, I really took her breath away.
Gillie, that was not a good idea. Why did you do that?
Markings, flesh, needed to know.
Alyn just kind of glares at him.
So I'm just like there laying there, out of it.
I'm just
Gillie,
glaring at him.
Gillie.
Teeth marks, monster bite, or rocks, something like that. My face hurts.
More
Not as
polite.
much.
She was very busy. She was trying to save that man's life.
But teeth marks didn't make teeth marks, or by something
Did
else.
you even get to see the teeth marks?
It was the hand and cut. It wasn't made because something stabbed into him or something bit into him. We going in someplace that has things that's
Gillie!
green thing.
Perhaps you had waited until she was just done, then we could go in there and we could talk to her, but now she's very mad at us, Gillie!
Green.
I think it's fair to say that Knell's almost in tears.
Yeah.
He's too out of it at the moment still. He's a little bit like wind blowing, literally.
Mhm.
And Alyn is definitely not happy with Gillie. She's just glaring at him and as she picks herself up carefully. Not enjoying what just happened.
Did
Very
anyone
big
at
Bit
least
of that.
did
Would
anyone at
I
least talk to her or see what markings, or is there someone around that can answer this question of what happened to the one
You're
surgery?
surrounded by injured miners.
I'm just on the ground. I'm not moving. He's trying to get his wits together still.
Still on the ground too.
The
I'm
ground's
just kind of on my hands and knees next to Gillie.
Kiira is just standing next to the tiefling, just holding, just being disapproval at him.
The place to be
Well,
talking
actually, it
about
was.
this. Perhaps we should go and find a spot to sit down and talk about what we have learned. That is away from here.
Illy grabs Nell's shirt and pulls Nell closer. Talk to the goddamn guards about what they
I
goddamn
did
saw.
talk to the guard, you fool tiefling.
What happened to the miner?
There was a cave-in the cave, Gillie. There was a big cave-in, and many people got hurt, and some people have died, Gillie. Do you have no respect for life?
Depends. Do they have a pretty face? But I need to know what caused the cave-in, because I know people aren't telling the truth, and I need to know the hell's going on before I go in, because 100 gold isn't that much money anymore, and I might need more.
To remove Gillie's hand from my shirt and press it back against his chest, glaring at him, and tell him,
Well, if you do not respect these people's lives, then perhaps you do not deserve the gold for saving them.
and I will get up and hobble away.
If anyone wants to come with me so that we can discuss how to go in there and take care of whatever is in there doing this, then come with me and we will talk. But I will not talk with these tiefling no more.
Illy just lays on the ground and stays there.
Well, we could try to go now. Maybe arm more gently, like trying to stop her for a moment since she's getting more upset as she talks. But she isn't too sure about what to.
Salvia went up and grabbed Nell's arm.
Yes, like trying to give support, but she's not like stopping her. It's more like just trying to offer some comfort, but she's not used to be around people, so she's not quite sure about how.
Nell will round on Salvia for a moment, just kind of emotional, and as soon as she sees that it's Salvia, she'll take a breath and let it out. And like, I am sorry. I did not mean to get so upset.
Don't worry, it makes sense you are. No one faults you for that. I just want you to calm down for a moment. You're just getting more upset, even if you're right, of course.
I just. She was trying to help somebody, and she, I don't even know what gender they are, Salvia.
I get that. I don't think anyone is bad. Well, let's try to get him away from this, and then we can have a talk, but first let's calm down, okay?
I will try to take a breath and I just it is okay. I am okay. I will calm down.
And she's just going to stand there and close her eyes and breathe for a moment.
All right then. Loving character development. I love it. Kiri and Alyn. Obviously, you've seen Knell is extremely upset by what has happened. You've seen Salvya quickly move off after Knell. The pair of you are stood there or sat there, looking down at Gillie.
Kiira was standing next to the tiefling and was and is getting pretty annoyed by them. He just got healed the first bite and he's hurt again. And also because of him, others got hurt too. But so she would like to have a talk with the others. So I guess I'll ask Alyn, how did things go around here? Did anything happen while me and Gillie were gone? Well, me and the tiefling were gone.
Like we got, she says, we got some bags from Lord Redwin, with supplies for in the cave, at least some of them. And then we came over here and talked to some of the people, and they didn't really have any information except that there was another cave-in. She says as she is just kind of sitting there, not, I guess, hurt, and not exactly happy that she's hurt again after she just got her arm mostly healed up.
To relocate those bandages. I don't even know where we're hurt.
As essentially, due to the type of magic that was used, you were just pushed out the tent. So that's a combination of your character's weight as well as your gear and the solid ground.
Just bruised up.
Probably bruised.
Yeah,
and
you're extremely
Really badly
bruised up.
bruised
Yeah.
up.
not
Did we break
happy.
anything?
You didn't break anything, I would have
Crack a
said.
knuckle.
Okay.
But you
Maybe
are
slight.
all the three of you are extremely sore. You're extremely bruised.
Maybe slightly winded at first and
Bit
Yeah,
dirty.
not happy
it,
at all.
yeah. It's like you've definitely had your feathers ruffled, so to speak.
Kiira continues to ask Alyn, what caused? Do you know what caused the cave-in this time?
What caused it? No, they said that they were. Did they? I don't think they did. They said that they were coming back under orders from the Lord, and got caught in it on the way out.
Kiira ponders on that a bit and just mutters out, "Okay." Should we return to the tent and have a chat? We have gotten some information about this creature, perhaps?
Which tent?
That one we slept in. I
Yeah.
don't know if there's any other place we could probably talk.
I was thinking
Meanwhile,
that's what
Gillie
it
is
was.
just laying at their feet listening to this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they better stay down.
fair to say, I think Gillie's just flat on their back.
Don't worry about me. I got great view from down here. So pretty faces.
Nobody's wearing a dress.
Alyn just kind of gives him a ew glare.
Kiira also glares at him.
Assume around this time, Knell and Salvia will be coming back to the group after Knell has been calmed down.
Kiira talks to them. Me and the tiefling glaring at him. She glares at him as she says, got some information from White Wind. Perhaps we could go back to the tent to talk about it.
Yes.
It sounds like it would be more comfortable there, and perhaps we could make less of a scene and not get into any more trouble.
And Knell will go over to Gillie on the ground and she'll reach down to pick him up. Here, you seem to like this type of thing, right?
Roll for strength.
$16.
Yeah, if Gillie's not actively fighting, you pick him up.
Dude, he's too out of
Is
it
Gillie
to
going
try
to
to
fight
fight.
me on this?
No, he's not.
Okay. Yeah, Knell is still angry at him, and she picks him up a little bit roughly, but she holds him securely, and she will turn towards wherever our tent was
Don't I
and
still have like a rag over my
limp off
face or
in that
something?
direction.
Was it gel or a rag? I forget.
A paste.
Oh, a paste all over my face still. It's like,
Yep.
you must think I'm
Oh,
so
no.
pretty.
Caked on it now.
He has no cares at the moment.
Alyn slowly gets up, minding her bruises and such, and follows them along.
So, yeah. Your scene, we'll call it, has attracted quite a bit of attention from mostly the guards. Is that they are aware, it seems, that you're here to do the job, but a lot of them don't look particularly happy now.
But
And are keeping a very close eye on your group as you make your way back to your tent.
Kiira just looks at them as they walk by, trying to.
Knell's ears fall back and her tail hangs low and she tries not to look at them.
Alyn kind of gives a nod as she limps along. She did nothing wrong. She doesn't care.
Does Kiira spot anyone being, like, more murderous than the others or stuff like that?
You're looking for somebody who's like openly hostile?
Yeah,
Roll perception for me then.
11.
What you can tell, nobody is being hostile, but you definitely get the feeling that you're not well liked. Now. The
Time
ones
yesterday.
the once peaceful atmosphere, despite the collapse, has dissipated, and all you can feel is great tension that seems to be moments away from snapping. But your group make it back to your tent. The fire is doused. It's not burning anymore, but the tent is still empty, as you all packed up your sleeping rolls. Nobody to disturb you.
Kiira goes inside, throws a piece of wood into the fire, and sits down.
Essentially, it's not
Oh,
lit. So
okay. Well, she starts lighting it.
sure. It takes you a couple of tries, but soon you get the ambers burning properly again, and eventually, with some of the new wood, you get it burning.
Knell will put Gillie down gently, despite the fact that she wants to throw him, and then go to sit down in her own little corner and try to assess her damage and find out what hurts.
Gillie just lays where he was placed. He's just like, I don't want to move. Not enough gold anymore. I'm contemplating not being here anymore. He doesn't say any of this. He's just thinking it.
Alyn kind of just leans against the wall and kind of slides down with a little groan as her bruises hurt as she sits down.
All right. We are here now, and people do not seem happy with us. But I think we should still try to help them. There's something in there that is killing people, and I really think that we could help them, so we should, right?
Yes. This situation seems to be getting worse by the day, apparently.
Ellie puts an arm up as he's laying down just to kind of note that he is talking. That we need to talk to that Winred guy because he isn't giving us all the information. We need to talk to him again and demand more gold.
Do that. But Gillie, then we will do that. But first, we should try to figure out what all we know now, so that we know what we need to ask.
It's a green tail thing. And it was something.
Speaking of that,
It was a something person. That's all I
speaking
know.
of that, Kiira turns to Alyn and asks them, "What do you know about Grix?"
We know about Grix. Do we need to roll for that?
Yes, you need to roll a nature check.
I asked straight from Alyn.
Mm-hmm.
So
Specifically, where none of us, the rest of us, could hear, or
You can hear, but I
Okay.
was
I know
watching at them.
nothing. I got a 3.
Wow.
Oh, I got a 16.
Oh, you have
Well, she
been
obviously
reading.
knows more.
You have been
Where-
read interesting bed stories.
Oh, it says I have advantage on nature checks too. So
Oh,
I'll roll
just
again and see if I do any better. 17.
Am I
So with a
supposed
3,
to add anything to
your
the
nature modifier?
nature? The 2. So that'd be a 5?
You've heard of Grix, but it's just like. But it's just. You have no idea what a Grick is. You know
Do
it's a word.
I know what a Grick is?
What did you get?
17.
17. I really want to ask how Knell came across this information.
I have possibly heard something from a village that I visited while I was bartering.
Yeah, possibly.
Let me just do my thing really fast. Ellie and shakes her head. I think I've heard of them, but I don't know what it is. No.
What information would I have on a Grick?
Well, you know that they are scaled, worm-like creatures with a big beak in the middle
Ooh.
of their face, no eyes. They rely on sense of smell and vibration. You also know that they are pack creatures, but it's not too weird to see one on its own. It just means it's a lone wolf. Gricks are very similar to wolves. They're pack animals, but you can get the lone Grick on occasion. But they are notorious ambushers. Always lurk around points where there is the most traffic. However, you're a bit surprised that apparently there is one in caves, as they tend to be hidden in forests or in deep underdark, which you know is essentially past the level that any sane person should go.
If they live in forests, then it is totally possible that I could have encountered one, right?
It is possible.
Because I've spent my entire life in the forest. Several different forests.
Yeah, it is possible, but remember,
yeah, they are incredibly rare, apparently.
Yeah, they are incredibly rare. Essentially, from what you know, this is the wrong region. It's too cold.
Cold for a Grick to be here. Okay, so they shouldn't be in the cave, and they shouldn't be in this region, period. Good to know.
Essentially, something, if it's alone, you know it's a danger because it can cause collapses as it burrows a lot of the time. If it's a pack, that's even worse.
Okay,
A
then
lone
I
group is
will.
easier to deal with. A pack is a problem.
Okay, then I will pipe up and be like,
A Grick? Are you sure you heard that correctly?
When we talked with this White Wind, they did mention that they saw a Gillie body, and it did remind them of a Grick. And they did tell a bit about it, but I'm not that sure what about what those creatures are. If you happen to know more about them.
I do, but this is. Are you sure? Because this is not the type of region they should be in, and it's incredibly rare to find one. It is. Oh, and in this cave, a Greek does not generally. Greeks do not live in this type of region. It is far too cold up here. It is, and the cave they normally don't. It doesn't make sense.
But it could be one, can it? They do dig around, don't they? And like they like dark places.
So it does not bother them. They have no eyes. A Greek focuses entirely on its sense of smell and what it can feel through vibrations. I suppose it's possible it was lured here by the vibrations from the mining, but it would have had to travel a very long way, I think. It is very strange if that is what is here. And if it is, then we may be in for a bit of a fight because they do not often go by themselves.
So whether there is one or multiple ones is a problem. We should probably investigate on that. Do we know any of its weaknesses? We only know what they are like. Is there any
Well,
knowledge about what they don't like?
I do know that they have no eyes, so there is that. But if we spelled strongly, it would still be able to find us. Uh, do I know anything about its weaknesses, Gem? With a roll of 17?
With 17, you know that besides obviously relying on a strength, sense of smell, they are incredibly stealthy. Their scales is very stone-like, so they can blend in pretty easily. However, they are vulnerable if you get to its underside. Essentially,
Ma.
its belly is its weak point. It's too soft. The outer shell is much like stone.
Is that what it says in the book? That's odd. But okay.
I can
I
tell you because
will.
I know Spazzy's going to intro this, but no, that's not in the book.
Oh. Well then, yeah, that's a little odd for a burrowing a creature to have a delicate underbelly, especially a snake-like one.
Here's a question: do you want to die this round?
No.
Then
Okay,
shush.
I will stop questioning the DM. I will convey this information to my companions.
And with that, we are taking a break.
Welcome to the break. Just your friendly Spazz wanting to remind you that our stickers are in our shop. Head over and check out those rainbow beauties. Also, remember to subscribe to our YouTube and hit that bell to be notified as soon as a new video is up. And last but not least, give us a like and leave a comment on what you think of us so far. Who is your favorite character? Everyone here at the Procrastinators wants to thank you for all the support so far.
Welcome back, dear players, from our break. When we left off, we were discussing the nature and possible weaknesses of a Grick. During this time, Gillie had the grace to fall asleep. Two to notice, really, that Gillie is asleep is Alyn and Knell. The pair of you notice Gillie is snoozing away.
I wonder if I'm grumpy enough to fucking kick him. Probably not. Nell's not mean. Even when she's angry, she's not that mean.
Right
She
then.
probably will look at him and sigh, though. And comment. He was so excited to get information, but he. Ugh.
Alien just kind of rolls her eyes.
So you're bringing it to attention that Gillie's asleep.
Yep.
Yeah then.
Well,
So,
it might be better this way, I think. He can't make a mess when he's sleeping.
But if he is not included in the conversation, then he might try to
I
find the information some other way.
Well, he didn't know anything else, then I would know.
Oh,
But
it
we
really is for the best. He was, or she, or whatever. I will just call him a he. I think I think it is for the best anyway because he was hurt. Yes. Perhaps we should all rest a little bit before we actually go in to do anything.
we should probably discuss about some kind of plan or what we want to do about it.
Yes, a plan would be good as well. Can we rest while we plan? Would that count as a short rest?
yes, it would.
Okay.
But we're gonna hop over to a sleepy Gillie.
Okay.
Um, Gillie, as you sleep, you begin to dream. You take a glance around yourself, and you're in familiar in a familiar surrounding, just a meadow, plenty of flowers, very bright sun, and blue skies. You feel the positive energy wrap around you as you notice a figure's shadow coming towards you, a golden light seeming to surround them. As they get closer, the first thing you notice is a circlet made of dark silver and 3 green gemstones dangling into their face. Amber colored eyes regard you from a pale face as slitted sleeves colored white with stitched pale yellow feathers somewhat cross over their chests. The barest hint of black gloves with a strange teal mark staring. Gillie, somewhat, they say. Gillie, you've seen enough pictures to know who this is, or who this should be. You know this person as Serenity.
He's doesn't know
Essentially,
how to process this information that he is seeing, and he is like he just his jaw just drops because his brain is just it's shot. It's like I don't know if this is real or not.
Gillie,
Uh,
are you?
yes. Then he just like drops and bows like I am not worthy.
Gillie, why have you caused this much despair
He looks up and it's like
over just over some information that you could have received if you had done this calmly?
I did not mean to proceed in this manner. I did not think people were going to come after me. I should have considered my actions a bit more. And I was blinded by my own personal greed for the money that was said to be given if I had done a task, and I know I should not have fallen into my greed, and I apologize. I am sorry. I I apologize. And he almost starts weeping because he has so many emotions. So many emotions.
Sorry. Somewhat, Serenity just sighs and just kneels down in front of Gillie. I have watched you grow. I am well aware of this war you fight within yourself. I know since you were young, you've always had the allure to coin, and you've struggled with it for, for a very long time. In your years, anyway. But, Gillie, I ask of you that when you wake, you venture forth in this task. For I feel it will guide you to where you're supposed to be. This feels as if it were a step, but I do not know if it's forward or back. But you must look upon this situation with positive emotion. Somewhat, Serenity waves a hand to one side, and like a blurred image appears, showing Gillie asleep and with everybody else sat around in the tent discussing. This is a chance, especially for you, to step forward in this world and gain companions who can help you, especially in the task I gave you.
He then looks up with confusion. Task?
So you don't remember?
He looks
That's not surprising.
He looks over at the vision of him and his friends and look back, then back at himself, then back. I'm confused. But I will do as you wish. I will proceed forward in a positive light, and remember, positivity is always the answer. But not chaotically. Remember that. No chaotic. No promises. I'll try my best though.
Someone's Serenity smiles and just waves the image away. Sometimes a little chaos energy never hurts. Sometimes it can help get a task done.
His eye starts to sparkle a little bit.
Someone Serenity stands up. Remember, Gillie, that you will be guided. And I am watching. Take care, and sweet dreams.
You too! I love you!
Somewhat the meadow landscape remains for this while longer, and then it shifts to black, and Gillie wakes up.
My eyes just pop open. I push myself up a little bit because I still hurt. And I look around. Why does my face feel sticky?
I will say during this time, you guys have had a short rest. So
And we probably sussed out what was in the backpacks too. I think it would be part of the planning phase to figure out what we had to work with.
yeah,
Like open up the backpacks and go through our inventory.
Yep, so in each backpack is 5 torches, 10 pitons, which is what you hammer into stone for climbing, and in 2 of the backpacks is a pickaxe each. So 2 bags have pickaxes, 1 doesn't.
Which one of us has the backpack with the pickaxes and which one of us doesn't?
I'll take the knot. I have no
Okay,
strength.
So,
There you go.
so me and Salvia have pickaxes.
No
Gotcha.
one has a strength.
So yeah, during your playing session and everything else, you gain a short rest. And as you draw your planning to a close, Gillie wakes up.
So I'm awake and I'm
Did
just
we make a plan?
We'll
Not
say you
really.
made a plan.
we'll be smarter
What's the
about
plan? I want to know what the
Salvia.
plan is.
it. Go talk to Redwin and make sure everything is all good, and then proceed towards the cave if everyone is not hurt enough to proceed or not.
Our
Probably.
plan is not to let Gillie make any more chaos in the camp because people don't like us.
Salvia will try to get their attention and said, okay, if I understood correctly, you said that this creature is guided by smell and their sense, right? So maybe if we want to avoid going into the caves too deeply, because it's obvious that whatever creature is inside is clearly angry and making more caves seem, so it's most likely it will happen again when we try. We maybe should try to get them out, like making something that repels them from the cave. Maybe we could find something that burns and smells really bad and throw it in the cave. They may try to go out to escape the smell. Or if we have to come in, at least they will be confused and won't be able to sense us as well.
So essentially you want to smoke out an entire mining cave?
I
would
don't
like
know
to
how
say
deep it is.
Salvin has inspiration.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That was definitely inspiration worthy.
Yes, that's
That was amazing.
a lot of wow.
At least just there in shock.
Okay.
Some of that noble upbringing showing through. uh, uh what this is a very good idea, but what could we use to burn that match?
We need to figure out, first of all, is there one or multiple ones? And of course, yes, somehow luring them into a trap or to get them outdoors of the caves would be a good approach. We just need to think
We also
of a good
drive them
solution.
deeper into the cave, though.
Say again?
We also do not want to drive them deeper into the cave.
Yeah, that is
I
very
mean,
true. Though they did like the smell and vibrations, so we could use that.
perhaps we could draw them to us somehow, and then we could get behind them and make this
this awful smell bomb on the other side of them in
Gillie
order to
raises
drive
his
them.
hands.
You
Yes.
are
Tiefling.
I have thoughts because I felt inspired by this pretty face. What if only instead of a group, because it just clicked to me. Haven't they all been going in big groups? There's been big mining groups. What if our most stealthiest person here goes in ahead of us to try to scout it out more, and if there is something that they can see, because the more people that go in, the more vibrations that are going to happen. And if they're super sensitive, just our footsteps are going to attract them. And then we could have that person report back, and if there's an area where we could put like some piles of really stinky weeds and light them on fire to smoke them out or something would be good, but having us all not go in at the same time would probably be the smartest, I would think.
Hmm.
I do think that is a good idea. Surprisingly, from you. But it still stands that I do not think it would be intelligent to drive them further into the caves. So there were cave-ins, and they could possibly be past those cave-ins.
Well, that's the whole thing of having the one person go in and just kind of scout it out more, causing at most least vibration. And he points over to Kiira and is like, she keeps poofing. I think she should do it. Because every time I try to look at her, she's gone. And he like does this like wavy finger thing in front of his face and slowly moves him. Just poof into the night.
So, despite herself, Knell will smile a little at that, and then
Kiira
immediately stop.
Kiira stares at the tiefling unimpressed.
You do. You go poof and gone. You could be
That
right
is-
there and then gone.
That is not I am talking about what if they are on the other side of the cave-ins, Gillie?
Well, she could still go like looking, and I would hope she could
She
track,
could.
and it would give a better idea.
But she would not be able to get to the other side of the cave-ins, Gillie.
But because of the most recent cave-in, the map we saw is a lie, and she could scout it out before we all just go in.
Yes, that would be more information for sure. And
I
I do
do
think that's a good
agree.
idea.
I do agree that I could go and scout around, but I would also want to have some kind of backup plan and perhaps, if needed, a distraction that could cause if something goes wrong, you could distract and get the the Greek perhaps to come towards the cave if something goes wrong.
This is another thing that I think that should be brought up. We do not know each other very well. Do we what is everybody's skills?
Billy pulls
What
out
are you
his
capable
lute.
of doing?
I can play the lute.
Besides that, Gillie.
You
I
can
know
stomp really hard, probably.
I know that
Vibrations.
I know that Kiira, I know that you are very sneaky. And I did not even know that you were with us for a while. And Salvia, you are so amazing. I saw you make fire in your hand, and that is very amazing. And really, you kick very well. And I do not believe I saw what you were capable of doing, Alyn.
I do believe they are a druid.
Oh, you You are one with the forest, then. This explains why you are so quiet. You are like a tree. She is being a tree right now. She leans over to Salvia to say.
Well, if this person is a druid, like you said, couldn't they change into something with super great hearing and like snow smelling and scout as well with you? So do you have backup? Just the thought.
Or they could
You
help,
are coming up with a surprising amount of good ideas.
I just had
or
the
they
best dream
could
of
make
my life.
a lot of vibrations, like
Alyn
make a
just
lot of
kind of
noise.
Alyn's just kind of sitting there looking as everyone suddenly starts talking.
We could have a team that, well, someone who goes further to investigate, then some who are then in the middle ground in the caves, kind of planning, making a trap. Well, the other party could make a trap, some more like deeper out of the, closer to the doors. They could, when the time comes, make a lot of noise and lure the thing out. And while the creature passes them, well, goes to them, some people could sneak from behind, and when it's like be on the backside and when it's vulnerable. Hard to explain.
But if the noise is what is upsetting them, like when the miners go and start to mine and make noise, and they provoke a cave-in, wouldn't that mean that the person who goes further will be at risk of being trapped by the cave-in?
This idea I do not think is so good. I am sorry, Kiira. It is you are I do believe you can make good ideas, but this one is not a very good idea. I think. But I think that Gillie's idea of sending in a scouting party is not a bad idea. I think sending somebody in to see the new layout of the cave and possibly see if they can find a nest of some kind would be a good idea. And I do not think that trying to provoke the Greeks is a good idea while the scouting party is in there.
No, not during that time, but afterwards, after we have some more knowledge, we could have some people luring it forward and some
Yes.
behind, staying behind, so it goes past them, and then we could try trapping it so that we have people surrounding it. Depending on the results, what we happen to find inside. If there's more of them, then that would be a bad plan.
It is very likely that there will be more of them. I do not see Greeks traveling by themselves. If there is only one, then it must be a very, very strong Greek to be surviving on its own.
But it was also odd for there to be one in this area. So
Yes,
I don't know,
this
it
is
might be
also
lost.
true.
Ellie gasps. I just thought of something. You guys go in, get the information, report to Redwood about the information, get paid for the information, then go in and kill them, and then get more money. I'm sorry, she couldn't stop laughing.
I don't
am
think
not-
I
I am not
understood
sure that-
any of that.
Okay, let me.
I think the tiefling means that since we already have quite a bit of information about this creature, we could already get some money from Redwin by just telling him what we know.
Oh,
No, because he said he would pay us for information gathering. And so we go
Yes.
in, get more information, come out, tell him about said information, get paid, and then turn around and says, oh, we can go back in and eliminate them for more money. You see what I'm saying? Money. Wait.
You're trying to wring this noble of all of his money.
Also, if we happen to notice that there's multiple ones, this job might be a bit too hard for us, so it might just stay by that. They promise money for
money
information.
aside. Yes, money aside, I think you have a point there.
I think that you are being incredibly greedy. I think these people are dying, Gillie. They need to be rid of this thing that is hurting them.
If we are not able to by ourselves take care of it, then knowledge only, with knowledge, they can hire someone to handle it.
They hired us.
Redwin is, in fact, quite rich. So even with information, he will know more better about it and know how to find people who can handle it. Either way, we'll see how things go.
I'm not sure if anyone would catch it, but as soon as Knell would say greedy, he would look really like, what have I just done? I just promised not to do this kind of a look, and just look mortified at himself. Like he's a deer caught in the headlights of a, oh shit, I just did a bad. I just said I wasn't going to do a bad, but I just did a bad. And he is regretting all his life choices at this moment, and it is very apparent on his face.
I think Nell would have looked off to Kiira as soon as Kiira started talking, so she might not have noticed.
Either way, we're about to risk our lives if we go into this cave. So if we happen to go investigate and get some knowledge, we are still risking our lives, potentially. So don't you think about that? We still earn some money.
But we said we are going to try this.
We are.
We came into this with the knowledge that it would be dangerous, yes?
Indeed. And by investigating, we'll know how dangerous it is. We're helping no one if we go in and just die.
Yes, I do intend to go in and get the information. I do think that getting the information is very, very smart, is a very good idea. But regardless, I would like to try to get these creatures out of these mines so that these miners can go about their job without dying. And so I,
Well,
for
of
one,
course.
do not want to run away from this. I do not want to leave it in somebody else's hands, some other adventurer's hands. I want to do what I can for these people, especially after that scene that we pulled earlier. That was awful. We made everyone so upset. I think they might be angry with us. I know that Jeanette is angry with us. She's so angry with us. She looks so angry. Her eyes glowed green. Did you see that?
With that, Illy like
Alyn, you saw that?
Illy nodded. Yeah.
Illy at this time kind of recollects himself a little bit and looks up, and then like things start clicking in his brain a little bit from his dream, and then from just things that just recently was talking about, and he was like, I need to apologize to everyone here for my chaotic madness that has transpired since meeting you. And I do wish to, once the healer is done, apologize to the healer, maybe to everyone in this camp personally as well. But I have to apologize for causing such madness that's not the positive kind of madness either. The more gut-wrenching, I'm sorry that I've done this. Especially to you, Knell. You cried. I'm a horrible tiefling. I apologize.
Knell is very taken aback. Her eyes are wide, her ears are up, and she's like, "Who is this different person that I've just met here right now?"
Kiira is also taking a second to like, what happened? The voice changed so much. Like, did something happen? What did she miss?
Knell will look at Gillie, and gradually her expression will soften, and she will say, uh, "Thank you, Gillie. That was unexpected. Uh, I, I accept your apology."
He puts his head up. No need to accept it at all. I needed to apologize. I don't expect anything in return for this because it was my wrongdoings, and I will try to remember to not be so chaotic. But I make no promises because it's very hard for me, especially when there's money involved. But I will try my very best not to be me in no way.
It makes me very happy to hear that. And I know that I do not have to accept your apology, but I will anyway, because you do sound very sorry. So thank you, Gillie, for thinking about this.
As Knell finishes talking, another voice comes through. And I accept your apology as well, Gillie.
Do the rest of us hear that?
Yes, the rest of you hear that.
He
As somewhat
jumps.
Jeanette steps in.
He jumps. He's like,
Yeah,
oh, hi.
Knell is also gonna jump, and her fur is gonna poof.
I'm sorry.
It was a very tender moment for me, and you just came out of nowhere.
Alyn listened to his apology and gave a nod, though she still didn't exactly seem happy with him. And she also jumped when the healer came in, not or aggravating her bruises, but not really making any sound about that.
Oh, my apologies for startling you all. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, I should have heard you coming. I was distracted. I'm sorry. Is everything okay now? Y- um,
And Knell is kind of avoiding eye contact. Last she saw Jeanette, she was very angry with her, so
Are
Knell is
you
sitting there with her ears back, trying to smooth down her fur so that she's not all pooped up, and just a lot of apologies and stuttering and awkwardness.
are you asking after the patient that I
yeah,
had?
yeah, yes. Are they okay?
They seem stable for now.
Okay. Okay, that's good.
She will be just startled like the rest, and seeing Knell so nervous she will be looking at the healer.
Fair enough. Anyway, anyway, someone Jeanette looks down. I came here to apologize. To you three, she says, gesturing to Gillie, Knell, and Alyn. I didn't mean to react so harshly.
Okay, we shouldn't have been in there. We really shouldn't have. I'm sorry.
Elite looks up. It's like, I should be sorry. The most sorry here. I shouldn't have barged in, but I was curious about things, and when I have my mind set on something, everything else doesn't matter. I'm sorry to have rushed in, and you were doing a splendid job, by the way. I'm just spot on healing job, just keeping that person alive, like you were working so hard. I'm so sorry I ruined your concentration, and I apologize. Please forgive.
I think your bruises were enough punishment. Don't you think?
He bites his tongue and just holds his tongue. He's like, I can't speak right now. I'm sorry. As he just bites his tongue and like leans away, and you can tell he wants to say something, but he's like, don't do it. Don't say it. And you all by this point know him well enough to know that there was gonna be something not appropriate out of that mouth.
Yeah, Nell can definitely see that on his face. And she is very amused. Impressed by the restraint, but mostly amused.
Anyway, I think this may help, she says as she starts to whisper some arcane words as her hands begin to glow green. And then she just separates them out, and it produces like a small wave of magic that touches each of you.
Alyn gave a nod to her apology and blinked as the spell, or whatever, worked. And
Yeah, so whoever needed healing, you just gained, well, you all gained 10 hit points.
I'm at full now, unless we go over full.
Here's the thing. You do, but they're
We do.
temporary.
Oh,
So you go to your max, and then whatever is left is your temporary hit points. So they go in the box underneath that says temporary on your sheets.
okay.
so I was at 7, added 10, said 3 extra hit points.
I have 8 extra hit points. Nice.
Was that to everyone in the room, or
That was
only those
everyone in
three?
the room. So the ones who weren't injured actually just have an extra 10 hit points.
I have 27. At least shouldn't have this power.
No, he shouldn't.
Nell will blink as the magic floats through the room. It's very pretty, and then it touches her, and it feels so nice and probably warm. Yeah.
It would be considered quite warm, like stepping into a hot bath or sitting in front of a fire. You're surrounded by warmth, comfort, and safety. Somewhat when the magic
Thank you. Oh, what did you just?
somewhat you see that when the magic stops, Jeanette is exhausted. She's panting. All the magic casters of the group know that this is pretty much magic exhaustion. She has no spell slots left. she is beyond tired.
Oh gosh.
So she can't perform any magic now.
Salvia could be prominent then, in worry and could approach to make sure she doesn't fall or anything.
I'm alright. I'm alright. The spell I used is an advanced healing spell. Um, it should have taken care of all ailments from wounds, cuts, broken bones to bruises. You should be very healthy now.
I'm indeed very grateful for your help, healer.
Jeanette. My name is Jeanette.
Kiira.
Alyn uh, gave a nod of thanks, saying thank you as she healed up.
Yes, thank you so much. Are you sure that yes, you probably do think it was a good idea. Yeah, I assume that you took care of everybody who was in the cave-in, yes? I'm sorry. I
Yes,
do not mean to question you. I am sure
No reason to be frightened. Everyone else has been cared for before I came here. Your group has been missing for quite a bit. Some of the guards are even thinking that you ran off.
we have been planning on our actions based on the knowledge we already have of the creature in the caves. You haven't heard anything from the injured ones, have you?
Such as what?
If they have seen about the creature anyhow, or if they heard something, if they have been saying anything about it while you have been healing them.
or if there was any suspicious wounds that you may have seen that might have been caused by something that was not simply the cave-in.
We are especially worried about the number. We want to know if it's just one creature or if there's more. Because if there's more, they may try to ambush us when we go.
Somewhat you see Jeanette pause to think. Mm. I've heard some of them. I honestly thought it was just rambles of the injured, the pain speaking. But some of them have said that they had seen tunnels in some of the mine shafts not long before a cave collapse. Some wounds I haven't been able to explain, although they've healed enough easily. Somewhat very odd bruising, I would say, as if they were gripped, but on the arm, quite tightly. I would akin it to being restrained by rope, I would have said. But the patterns are all wrong. I don't think rope has circles. Does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
That is very interesting. Was it thin or was it bigger? It was only on the arms?
It was in other places as well, but it was most commonplace on the arms. And I'd probably say it's about as thick as probably so much she thinks, like maybe 2 of my arms. She my forearms. She says, someone gesturing to her forearm, and they're not. Her forearms aren't thick, like just one. but both together they are quite thick to suggest that this could have been something very strong and quite wide.
Very curious.
Is there anything on a Grick that would cause bruises like that?
Weren't
Yes, there would
Okay.
be.
Okay.
In front of the Grick's mouth, essentially to hold prey, are 4 tentacle-like appendages that
Oh,
restrain as it bites.
Okay,
So-
good to know.
So logical standpoint that these miners that got a bit unlucky were almost restrained, but they got away.
Does do the people who who have those bruises did are they able to talk at the moment?
Some of them are still quite injured, and most of them have been sent home.
Ellie
Oh.
gets his bag and opens it up and then looks through it real quick and then grabs out a bottle of, what was it called again? Moonlight Ale, and hands it over to the healer. You deserve this more than I do.
Somewhat she takes the
Aw.
bottle and gives it a sniff. Moonlight Ale.
It's delicious, and for all the shit I put you through, you may have the rest of this bottle. Because we all know I don't need it.
Wow, this is an amazingly rare ale. Not much of it's produced anymore.
Enjoy it.
Thank you. I think I'll keep it for safekeeping. I wish you luck on your mission. I think being healed, she says, is somewhat beneficial to that. Yes, I will leave you to the rest of your planning now. She somewhat gives a bow and leaves.
Kiira waves
Goodbye.
when they leave.
Well, that was unexpected. Well, I for one am feeling a lot better. How about everybody else?
Alyn
Indeed.
nodded.
Well, I think we can say with certainty after that it is definitely at least one Greek. Okay, so we know what we are dealing with. Aside from how many there might be, or how big, or anything like that. I think if we saw one of the tunnels, then we'd be able to figure out how big it is at the very least. So the scouting party could probably figure that out.
Is it me alone, or does someone want to join me?
Alyn, would you be up for that?
Alyn nodded. Sure, she said.
You could become
Right.
a bat. You know, like the little the mousy things. They go.
Alyn, did she just squeak? A little squeak came from the front of Alyn's shirt, and a little mouse head pops up out of her shirt. What was the name?
Knell's eyes zero in on the mouse.
No, don't do it. Don't do it now.
Oh.
No eating the
Topo,
mouse.
no. Alyn said, pushing it down slightly, glaring at Knell, like, leave it alone, without saying anything.
Ellie starts like excitedly moving. I just got another idea. What if we send the mouse? Because if she can talk to the mouse can go in, and no one would detect the little tiny footprints. And then the mouse can go in, kind of give it a look around, and come back and be like, yo, it's all good or not. And then no one's life has to be in danger because no one will detect the little mouse feet because it's a mouse and
We
they weigh
can-
nothing.
For a mouse, bigger distances are quite long. So we might use that idea, but when we are already in the cave, and then if we see some holes or some like smaller parts of the cave, we could use then the mouse trick. If that's fine with Alyn,
Okay.
if they're a pet.
Illy gets up and walks out of the tent to go find water to wash his face. But he doesn't say anything. He just gets up and leaves. So you never know what he's gonna do. But it's just an innocent action of I need to find water to wash my face because it itches.
Knell's eyes have been darting all over the place, darting to the mouse, to Illy, to Kiira, to back to where the mouse is now hiding, and she's just sitting there thinking to herself, "This, you guys realize it's a mouse, right? You're talking about sending a mouse on a scouting mission. It's a mouse." And then Gillie gets up and starts to walk away, and she's even more confused, and she doesn't know what to think. She's just looking around at everybody like, what is going on right now? Did I step into a parallel dimension?
Did she say that it's a mouse out loud or just in her head?
Just in her head. She's just thinking these things. Everybody else is talking.
Just want to make sure. Ellie can pet the mouse's head as it kept its head popped up. While keep an eye and make sure that nothing happened to it. And she looked down at the mouse, kind of like looked down at the mouse, trying to see if it's willing to do it or whatever, if it understood any or She talked to the mouse slightly, asking if it's willing to do so.
You
Did
hear
Alyn
like
just
this
squeak at the
little
mouse?
squeak. You just hear this little squeak.
Right. Druid! You are talking to the mouse. Does the mouse talk back?
Alyn nodded.
Also, did anybody does anybody know where Gillie is going?
No. We should probably go after him.
At least somebody should. I do not want to go after
How
him. Last time I
has-
went after him, I got thrown on the ground.
I can go.
Salvia will be surprised at first because she didn't see that mouse at any moment until now. Well, she wouldn't expect it since there was even a fight and everything, and I don't know. She would have thought they would have seen it.
I do have a question for Alyn. How are you talking to this mouse? You just talking to it in common, or are you using a
don't know.
spell, or
Are you squeaking?
Are you squeaking at the mouse?
I was gonna say, are you just squeaking at the mouse?
What are I'm not quite sure. I know that they could talk to the mouse, but I wasn't quite sure on how they were supposed to do. Was this a perk of being a druid that they could do it? As I knew they could turn into an animal. Were they able to understand animals without? Was that part of druidic? I know I have a spell for it, but I'm not sure.
Hang on. Hang on.
I know she could speak to it. I just don't know how she could speak to it.
Let me find. There it is. Druid. No, you cannot speak mouse. Or you cannot speak to it.
So maybe she's
The
speaking
animal?
common? Or maybe it's able to understand her? I'm not sure. But she can't really understand it
It's
unless she's using a spell? I know it's a mouse.
yeah. It's a mouse. It's just
It's an
squeaking at you.
intelligent mouse.
It's
I
just
guess
a pet
she
mouse.
maybe she just asked it and it gives a little squeak. But she doesn't really understand what it's saying. It doesn't really understand her.
Pretty much.
like when I talk to my fish. Like, are you hungry, Rufus? Yes. Well, Knell is thoroughly impressed and thinks that Alyn is totally talking to this mouse and understands this mouse. She doesn't know shit about druids.
Anyhow, so we have all our stuff. Everybody's ready. Everybody's healed.
Gillie's
Uh,
somewhere.
Yeah.
Look
So
at
I
that.
was thinking, how about, is there any unfinished business? Do you have any unfinished business in this camp? We could probably start heading out after I go and see Gillie and drag them by their tail if
Could
necessary.
I think we could head to the caves. And does the mouse want to go in to do the
Me,
I don't.
I think it was planned that me and Alyn will go
Yes,
into the
that
caves
will
first.
happen, but the
We'll
mouse.
see. We'll see what happens then later. We'll have to plan that
Oh,
later on out.
okay. Okay. So yes, let's go find Gillie and we can go to the caves.
Yeah.
And she'll just be eyeballing the mouse as they all stand up and leave the tent.
So currently you three have the bags, right?
Yes. I have a bag, Alyn has a bag, and Salvia has a bag. And me and Salvia both have a pickaxe in our bag.
Perhaps next time we should somehow share what there is inside the bags, depending
We
on.
did.
Oh,
Yeah, we already did that.
I mean that not me and Alyn will be going into the cave. So we should have
Oh.
a pickaxe, perhaps, with
Well,
us and perhaps a
maybe
few torches.
Well,
So
if you want to
we'll see,
ask,
figure it.
then okay. When we get to the caves, you can
We'll
totally
share
ask,
it.
and we can
Yeah.
divvy.
But for now, let's go find Gillie, the tiefling. Currently, Kiira at least only knows Knell's and Salvia's names, and they're just calling tiefling as tiefling, and otherwise they keep pointing.
Knell has
at
definitely
Alyn.
been using their names.
So I might have perhaps picked up Alyn's name, and
Yeah,
I
You've
just
probably
will.
picked up Alyn's and Gillie's
Yeah,
name.
during this conversation, I have said both of their names multiple times.
Okay, Kiira will still keep on calling Gillie the tiefling.
Yeah, I think I might have actually been calling Gillie tiefling during this conversation, actually.
Yeah, but you've called
Because-
Gillie by their name at one point or another. So it's not.
A tiefling, yes.
Anyway, I'm gonna say just as you guys leave to go retrieve uh Gillie, we're gonna hop to Gillie.
I just walked out and I'm just trying to like locate water for my face. Just kind of wandered.
It's easy enough done.
Okay.
Asking
Oh,
around,
the water
you're directed
barrel.
to some sort of wash area that the miners have been using, and there's like a clean barrel of water there that you can use to wash your face.
Not the dishwasher.
Not the dishwasher, no.
Okay, so I'm just there. I'm just
I-
washing my face, scrubbing it, getting all this stuff out. Probably some got in my hair, so I'm trying to get it out of my hair as well.
Yeah. As you are doing so, you pause as you feel a presence somewhat nearby that feels like serenity, but it's not. The positive energy is missing.
I
But
do not hesitate, and I follow this presence.
all right then. I did not expect you to do that.
Well, he just had a
should-
dream
I
about
should-
serenity. You think he wasn't going to follow and be like, "My God," but yet just still follow.
My God!
And there goes the campaign.
Well, this is how things go.
Okay. You follow the presence. And you stumble across definitely not serenity.
What do I see?
But rather one of the yang side. From what you can tell, the energy is rather negative in presence, but it's the case it's not purposeful.
So
You see,
it was a what?
it's a cloaked figure, like a long cloak. And like on their shoulder is a white raven.
Oh,
This raven turns and these bright red eyes stare at Gillie, and you just hear this caw just as this shadowed figure disappears.
can I roll knowledge to see if my monthly past history would tell me what this was?
Roll religion.
Okay. 9. Damn. Okay, let's see. You said religion?
Mhm.
11. That about sounds right for something that's not my religion.
Yeah, it's like as part of your study, obviously at the place you lived, the monastery, you know each of the gods by name. Obviously your main god is Serenity. You much prefer them. But you also know that the 6 gods are split into what is supposedly yin and yang. You know Serenity is part of the yin, the more positive side of things. The rest are yang. Well, at least 3 of them. The one you saw with it leads you to a sun image that you've known. You're pretty sure that you just saw Loss, the god of death.
Illy just stands there for a moment, and he's just like, this seems like a bad omen. He turns around and books it back to the group.
Yep. So the rest of you, as you're coming out the tent, you just see Gillie running back to you.
Guys! I'm a little afraid of going into this cave
found
now.
him.
Guys, no. Shh.
What?
There's
What-
bad omens in
what's
this
the matter?
camp. There's bad omens.
Did something happen, Gillie?
I felt something, and I went towards the something because I felt the something, and I was curious about the something, and I went towards the something, and then the red eyes, and then it went poof, and there was a white crow, and it cawed! We should be careful.
I'm not
Did-
quite sure.
I
I
should be
follow.
laughing.
Are you hungover, Gillie?
No.
What was,
It's
what was Salvia saying?
It's a thing, though. You drank a whole lot yesterday, and then today, I do not know what a hangover is supposed to be, but I am told that it is very bad, and I think that you may be having a hangover, Gillie.
I put my hands on Nell's shoulders. No. And it's a little awkward because she's taller, so it's like his arms going up. No. You
Knell
don't.
will lean down slightly to allow this.
You don't understand. And then he stops for a moment, and then he thinks. Wait. It might not be a bad omen. There has been a lot of death here. Then he just looks around around. But I don't trust that they're here. That I saw them.
I do not understand. You saw a white bird with red eyes, and somehow this is tied to...
No. Sorry. No, I saw one of the gods and his white bird, and he was there, and then he poofed, and it's never good to see the god of death. But there has been a lot of death, so it could be nothing, but it could be something. I'm a little wary. But I did see my god in my dreams, and he said it was all good, and we should totally go forward. But now I'm questioning his decision. But it's his decision. He's just like there talking to himself, like he's more looking at the ground now. And he's like rambling on and on about if this would be a good idea, if this is a bad idea. But his god said he should. But would it be really wise to do so? So yeah, that's where he's at right now.
What does
Knell's going to
Salvia
step
or-
closer to the others and ask,
Is it common for the gods to talk to people? I'm
I don't personally know,
This
but
is up for anyone. Anyone can do a religion check apart from Gillie, who is rambling.
yeah,
Okay.
I know for a fact that Knell doesn't know a whole lot about the gods or goddesses. She's lived her entire life in the forest, and her dad didn't really talk to her about these things.
Given
I got a
Knell's
20.
history, yeah.
I got a 20.
You got 20,
Oh.
wow.
Oh,
I
Where
got
could
a
this be
7.
when we're fighting? Do I need to add religion to this too?
I
Yes.
don't think you really need to.
Maybe a 22.
You crit rolled. You know your shit.
Holy
you,
crap!
You talked to the god of death personally once.
Scarlet, did you pro something?
I have no idea what I know. But apparently I know a lot.
Okay, is it fair to say that Alyn travels a lot?
Sure. Maybe kind
yeah,
of a loner, but travels around.
Did Scarlet roll her dice? Did she learn anything?
apparently I don't know it because I have
Okay.
a 3.
Okay,
I
wait.
thought I would know more.
is that plus your religion?
Oh no, I didn't. But I mean, I have a 3. I don't think it can be a lot of better. No, I have a 4 with religion because religion is 1.
Fair
Uh,
enough.
This is so sad.
It was pretty innocent, I will say that. Um, anyway, Alyn, you know for a fact that it is supposedly said that each of the gods have a particular area that they like to frequent on the mortal plane. It is somewhat commonplace for individuals who worship the gods to speak to their worshippers in their dreams. So what Gillie is saying is true. It could be possible that whoever they worshipped had visited them. But it is entirely possible to see the god of death, Los, walking around. The signature white raven, particularly if it's got red eyes, always means that he is lurking around, even if you can't see him. It's also a good point that it is supposedly rumored that the god of death lives like a mortal. Although you're pretty sure that one is particular nonsense. But you're not 100% sure, as so many different sightings of the god of death have been said more than any others. So, yeah, you think it's entirely possible that the gods could be wandering around on the mortal plane, and it is very much possible that you could see Los, the god of death.
I give him all this info that you just said. In a way that for them. I tell him about this. Wait a sec.
Enough.
Okay. Oh, so he is. So it is possible he is not just having a hangover. Uh, he does have a point then. If the god of if that god is hanging around here, it's probably just because a lot of people have died. I do not like that I said that in such a light voice. I apologize.
Is Gillie
I
still rambling?
No, as soon as Aelin started talking, he piped down because he was like, "Someone believes me." And then he will
I'm
also
sorry,
want
Gillie.
to go off somewhere when it's like we're done with this and kind of contemplate and maybe meditate on wondering why this god was here to try to remember a bit more. Just to make sure he's remembering everything correctly.
Sure. I would say then, unless anybody would like to say anything else.
I was just gonna ask Alyn and Kiira if they still wanted to do this scouting mission after Gillie saw the god of death.
Kiira just looks at her and says, "Of course, weren't you the one who wanted to do work worth the money? You wanted to help these people here. We
I
better
do
get
want to
going
help these
before it
people.
gets dark."
That is a very good point. I do want to help them, but I do not
Then
want
it
to
makes
make all of
much
you do
difference in a
things if
cave.
you. I do not want to make you do things if you do not want to. That is all.
It's no problem. We have gotten this far.
Okay. Then shall we head over to the cave? you and Alyn can go in there and scout things out, and I will wait at the entrance to the cave, and I will listen. I do not think I will be able to hear you once you get deeper into the cave, but I can hear for a good distance. So if something terrible happens, you can scream, and the rest of us will come in there.
Side.
Alyn just kind of snorted at that, but gave a nod.
Kiira just shakes her head.
Right then. If nobody else says anything, you all begin to head up the path, following Knell, who had asked Sir Igneous earlier, up the path towards the mines, hoping that what Gillie saw is not an omen, and also hoping that whatever plan you decide upon after this scouting will work. And that is where we're going to end today's session. I hope you all enjoyed, and please come again and join us next time for our Knight's Tale.